amazing guest. Wow.
Don't give me so much credit.
What do you mean? Aaron Krause, he has the best-selling product in the history of Shark Tank. Is that correct?
Amazing. It is. And it's also the happiest product in the history of Shark Tank, you know?
I have my own.
I'm going to replace my face with the smile. All right?
I love it. Scrub Daddy, what a great product. It works well. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you. It's not for lack of hours and hours and hours of work. So anyone who thinks this is an overnight success, let me clear the air now. This is 30 years in the making. And I turned 50 the other day. Can you believe I'm 50?
Oh, you don't look...
well, that's just because I dye my hair for TV now because I'm on QVC a couple days a week. The last time I was watching my QVC show, I was like, who's that old guy? Oh, my God, it's me.
No, that's not true at all. I've seen you. We're going to get to QVC in just a minute because your pitching is so good.
Thank you.
It's amazing. I mean, you're now we've met a couple times at the trade shows, and you're just a natural at pitching. Did you have to learn how to do that? Because I've seen you on QVC. I've seen you at the trade shows. How did you learn how to pitch so well?
Well, I mean, first of all, I am a naturally outgoing person. So that's just, I'm naturally hyperactive. I'm naturally social. And, you know, I've always had just a very outgoing personality. I'm just not, I'm not one of these introverted people. I'm in your face almost. And in some aspects of my life, that's been difficult. There's certain people that I actually rub the wrong way because I'm just so, constantly just in your face all the time. But the pitching is actually an art. And that's not something that, you can be outgoing and be in your face. That doesn't mean that you present a really great pitch and you hit all of the different aspects of what your product and your sales pitch is to a potential buyer or investor. And that I honed that skill over literally 30 years of going to trade shows in all my previous businesses and just one-on-one presenting to a customer and watching their eyes and watching their facial expressions. And you can see, oh, that worked. Like you see someone's eyebrows go up, you're like, oh, I got something there. And I remember those and I would refine it every single time. And the pitch would start to get better and better. And I'd cut things out that I could see, it took too long to do and it was too tedious to do. And I didn't get that interest where people are like, oh, wow. Like you see someone's facial expression go, you got them. And then you take that demo and you just expound on it. And you really, you hone that skill. So I not only had done that at trade shows over years and years, but when I originally started doing Scrub Daddy, it wasn't selling in the stores. And I was offered by one of the owners of a supermarket store to go there and set up a booth and literally show and demo Scrub Daddy. And I had really never done that before. And so, every person that walked up, I would do a little song and dance. And, and if they bought one, I knew that I did the right deal. And by the time I had done that for 4 or 5 weeks, I'm telling you, if you were anywhere near my booth, first of all, I would grab you. I wasn't shy. I wouldn't just stand there and let people walk by. You're like, ma'am, have you seen this? Give me 2 minutes, and I promise you're going to be happy, just like this. And they come over and be like, it's a smiley face sponge. How great can that be? And I already know in the back of my head, they're finished. They're a goner. Once I brought them in front of the booth, by the time I show them what this thing can do, they're going to go and they're going to buy it. And that's exactly what happened. And I got so good at that when I went and did that same pitch at QVC for the buyer, they said to me, we like the product and we want you to be the on-air pitch man. And I was like, huh. Now this took me into an area that I really wasn't sure about, whether or not I was someone who could be on television. I mean, that just sends butterflies into me. Like, wait, this is different. This isn't one-on-one pitching with people. The dynamic changes instantly because you're no longer pitching to a person that's in front of you, that you're interacting with, that you see their facial expressions, that you make eye contact with. What you're doing now is you're literally an actor. and you're going to be in front of a camera, and you have to have that same emotion to an inanimate object, and you know that it's all fake. Like, you know that you're in a fake studio. You're not in a real kitchen, or you're not behind your demo booth. You're in a fake studio, and there's just, a bunch of cameras in front of you, and you know that you're putting on a show. And I wasn't sure I could do that. And luckily, not only could I do it, but I really enjoyed it.
Well, I've watched your QVC. You're fantastic. You love the camera. The camera loves you. Because
Thank you.
Whatever you've done, when you're talking to that camera, you're talking to us. You're talking to me, and you've really got it down. So when you're on QVC, is it scripted? Do you have to do a lot of it's live, right? So it's not really. Is it scripted? How tight are you to a script?
Oh my God, QVC is the scariest thing you can do. It's unscripted. It's completely impromptu. It's 100% live, and your money is on the line, and you're also obligated by a bunch of legal terminologies that you're not allowed to do. Everything else is just open to game, and you have no idea what's going to happen. And crazy things happen. Like I've learned, I used to go to the show and be like, all right, I'm going to start the show off, and I'll say, this line because it's coming up on like springtime, and then, the show starts and the host is like, so Aaron, what's it like to be like, so successful on Shark Tank? And you're like, so springtime is coming. And I was like, so you can't do that. You can't do that. So you can't prepare for anything because you have no idea what's about to happen to you. And anything can happen to you. And you have to go with the flow. So I know in my mind, I've got 40 demos in front of me. I know how each one works. And the host can say to me anything they want, and I'm going to move right to that demo. And it happens all the time. Like, I think I'm about to do, the next scrubbing demo, and the host's like, and Aaron, by the way, I used it the other day to peel potatoes. Can you show that to us? And I'm like, absolutely. Let me show you. You take it, you dip in the water, and I know where the potato is, and I know where I'm going next, and I do that demo, and then I flow it into whatever I need to do next. So you have to know all of your repertoire and be able to mix and match it anywhere you want. And you have to go with the flow of the host, because the show is inherently not yours. And believe me, the host will tell you this before the show. And God forbid you take that position away from them and you think you're selling the product, you are in a lot of trouble. And I mean, at my first bunch of shows, I literally got told off. I got told off by a host. One of the hosts said to me straight up, you know what, Aaron, this isn't your show. This is my show. And in my show, you'll follow my lead and you will not interrupt me, and you'll answer the questions as I give them to you. And I was like, oops, I just got excited. QVC is a very scary thing. And literally it's 100% live, 100%. And if you say things, I have a script. I don't have a script of what I'm supposed to say. I have a script of what I can't say. Legal things. Like, Aaron, you may not say that this doesn't scratch any product ever. Can't say that. You can say what you have independently lab tested. So this product doesn't scratch glass, plastic, stainless steel, or nonstick cookware. You can even use it on the hood of your car. There it is, dude. I don't say, and you can use this on any product, anywhere in your house, at any time, and it will never scratch. Because when I finish saying that, and the show's over, 2 security guards will be waiting for me at the side of the show, and they will escort me out of the building, and I will never be on QVC again. And so literally, you're in your mind, you're thinking about it the whole time. Don't make wild claims, Aaron. Don't say it doesn't do anything. It will last forever. Don't say. I say, and it doesn't smell for up to 2 months, lab tested. Oh, that's because I had that lab tested. I will not say this never smells ever for the rest of your life. You just don't want to do that stuff. And so it's scary, and there's no script, and it's completely impromptu. And then the worst part is you also know that you need to hit numbers. This isn't just a show like Shark Tank where it's fun and you're negotiating. What's the worst that happens? They say no to you. So you still did a demo in front of 10 million people. Great. This is like, Aaron, your numbers didn't hit our goal. That product's done. Ship it back, guys. Next product. And, you could be off air. If you only have one product on QVC, you're not long for the world on QVC. I mean, the only way I've stayed on QVC for 7 years is that we keep innovating and coming out with another product. Scrub Daddy, Scrub Mommy, Lemon Scented, Colors, Big Daddy, Scour Daddy, Eraser Daddy. Like, I keep going back on because we keep, changing that. Oh, now we're doing gift packs. It's holiday season, so we got a gift pack. It's got a beautiful little bow on the top.
The man that invented Scrub Daddy and made it famous on QVC, then Shark Tank, and then on QVC again is Aaron Krause.
I thought you were talking about me being the most popular guy.
You are the second most behind SpongeBob. All right, tell us about this.
Well, this is our new partnership with Nickelodeon, and we hark back to SpongeBob's smile of face and then to Bikini Bottom. SpongeBob lives in a pineapple under the sea, and these smell like beautiful pineapple.
They smell great.
You will actually make a tropical scent all over your kitchen. So if you love pina colada scent or pineapple, these are delicious. Now here, this is burned on cheese, mustard, tomato sauce, browning gravy. Now the Scrub Daddy Flex texture side is cutting right through that, and Sean, I'm only using cold water. But then you've got the soft, absorbent resofoam side. So you scrub, you flip, you wipe, and your job is done, and all the mess is now in your sponge. Now, I'm going to switch over here.
Do you mind if I peel a carrot?
Please, peel a carrot.
Does anyone want to laugh? Because I am.
If you put this in cold water, it makes it so firm, it actually will peel
I'm peeling
carrots.
a carrot.
You can peel a potato, too.
No,
if you want.
Well, I have so many questions here, I'm dying. Okay, so wait a minute. Okay. Let's start with this. How many times have you been on QVC? Do you even know?
So I've been on QVC. Are you ready? I've done over 280 live shows in 7 countries.
That's all? Okay, okay.
That's
right.
it. And I've been on sometimes as many as 12 times a day.
Oh, so how do you learn? You project this positive energy. You really believe in your product because it does work. I have it. I've used it. It's a wonderful product. You smile as you're presenting. How do you do that too? I mean, have you learned how to? Is that something you've just learned? You watch yourself. How do you know how to do that?
Well, first of all, of course, I always watch myself, and every show that I do, I watch it and I learn from it, and I look at angles. Every angle that I'm presenting to the camera. There's a point where I'm like, I'm showing the product like this, and I'm moving my hand like this, and I'm like, dude, you can't do that. You don't. That's not naturally. You do that while you're talking to somebody in real life. But when you're on a camera, what you want to do is this, holding it still and making sure, you see how I'm adjusting that smile right now? I'll literally do this in the camera, like, oh, look at that. Yeah. And I'll hold it nice and still. And then I might point to it, but I'll hold it still for the camera. So it's in the middle of the lens. And this is all stuff that I've learned by watching myself and being like, so when I'm showing, I'm doing this kind of stuff. Wow, I don't want to do that. I want to stop and do that. And each time you watch yourself, you get better. Now, that being said, you're asking me, did I have to learn how to be excited and positive about my product? And the answer is no. So the reason that what I do on Scrub Daddy resonates so well is because I 100% believe in it, know it works. I know it's not snake oil. I'm selling you something that you're going to love and you're going to use over and over again. You're going to thank me for it. And I feel that inside. So every time that I'm at QVC and someone comes up to me and is like, Aaron, your pitch is incredible. Like, could you represent my product and demo? Like, I'm like, no, I can't. I can't because I'm not a paid actor and I'm not acting. I'm representing something that's my passion. And so what's coming across on the camera is real passion. And I'm telling you, that's why you get a real appreciation for actors, because I'm not one of them. And I'm lucky that when I present my products, I'm presenting it like literally from my heart, and it's a huge difference. Anyway, that comes across on the camera, and people believe it and they buy it. They know that I'm not acting.
The camera picks up on everything, and they could tell if you're not the real deal. So I'm glad that you said that. It comes from the heart, because the product, like I said, that's not fake. You can't fake that,
no.
Right?
And of course, that resonates with every business owner. When you have a company and you own a product, you should 100% believe in your product, and that should come across every time you make a pitch, whether it's to a camera or it's one-on-one, presenting it to an investor or presenting it to someone you're trying to sell. When I go to Walmart and I'm in front of the buyer, believe me, this is the same person, and they're like, they feel that energy, and it's kind of infectious. They start to be like, yeah, I know. I use your product at home too, and I love it. It's like, and I'm like, I know.
I remember at one of the trade shows, and we're going to show a picture. We're together at one of these trade shows, and you did the pitch, and I was there, and I was watching. I thought, this is like QVC. I mean, you were so good. It was like, and he's doing it for me. It was a personal pitch. And it was just spectacular.
Well, now we've created the most beautiful functional dish wand you will ever see. This is called Scrub Daisy, and it sits in a vase at your sink with quick connect interchangeable heads. This one's called the Daisy. The Daisy lets you get all the way into the bottom of mugs, cups, your NutriBullet when you're making that shake. It quick disconnects, and you can change it instantly to the flexible Hyacinth. The Hyacinth is a 14-inch long bottle scrubber. This is going to let you get all the way to the bottom of your bottles, your water bottles, and even into baby bottles. And because it's completely flexible, you can see when I bend it, it actually gets all the way around the rim. Instantly, you can change that out to the Sunflower. And the Sunflower incorporates our brand new material called Scrub Daddy. And this puts it on a 45-degree angle, so it's a plate, pot, and surface scrubber with a scraper built in on the back. And they're all gonna sit in this beautiful, functional vase. And the vase itself actually has a suction cup that's a drain. So this lines up at the edge of your sink, it suctions it down, and then you can either use it with or without the vase. Bam! Scrub Daddy, out.
He's the guy.
I love going to trade shows. That's where you really interact directly with, the people who are using your product. I get so much great feedback from that. Again, I get no feedback from the camera. Yeah. You know what I mean? When you're on QVC.
Wait, you do with the orders. You do get the feedback.
You do. And actually, to be very honest, there's an earpiece in my ear, and the producer's talking to you during the show as well. And sometimes they'll tell you, Aaron, we're gonna go to camera 4, or we're gonna switch to like a lifestyle video, so they'll warn you. And sometimes they're like, "Oh, great demo, huge spike in sales, Aaron, keep it going." And you're like, "Yeah," and that just pumps you. Yeah, you can actually hear that. It's exciting.
Let's look back a little bit. When reading some of the things that you've done, you're a materials expert, aren't you? Kind of. I mean, didn't happen by accident.
I'm not a materials expert. I am an inventor, and I usually call myself an inventor more than anything. Not an engineer, not a material specialist, not a scientist. I'm an inventor. I see problems in the world. I immediately visualize solutions to them, and then I immediately go to work on creating a solution to it and seeing if it's marketable. And seeing if it's worth putting my time into it. And so I have 28 patents, 6 more pending, and I'm always inventing something, and it doesn't have to be a sponge. In fact, my latest huge project is I am now an owner of a new ice hockey stick company. I play ice hockey. I coach ice hockey. I'm passionate about it. And I coach my son's team. I'm a season ticket holder to the local team here in Philadelphia, the Flyers. And I got involved in this company that was developing a new ice hockey stick called Tovi Hockey, Tovi. And literally, we're going to change the game of ice hockey forever. We've created the first solid molded carbon fiber blade that's so strong and durable that we perforate it with an open pattern like a racket, and the air goes right through the blade, and it reduces the coefficient of drag by 10%. So everything in the game is faster. Passing, shooting.
How did they find you, or how did you find this?
Well, again, I'm in the hockey world, right? So I'm coaching. I'm on the ice 2 days a week. I'm coaching games all weekend. So I'm always involved in stuff in ice hockey. And some people who were working on this project heard about the Shark Tank thing, knew that I was an inventor, and thought, so I'm getting pitched every day now by people who have great ideas and inventions. They're like, "Can you help me with my invention?" And a lot of people send me stuff. Very honest, I have very limited time, and it's not something that's in my wheelhouse. Now, when you send me an ice hockey stick, that's straight in my wheelhouse. And I looked at it and went, there's something to this. And I started experimenting with it. And I found out right away, not only there's something to it, but I would have my son start testing it and see if he gets any better with it. And it revolutionized his game. And from then I knew, I actually called them up. You'll enjoy this story. I called them up and I said, guys, you know, I'm looking at your product. It's really interesting. You guys know who I am. You guys want to play a game? They're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, it's called Shark Tank. I want this percentage of the company for this much money. And here's the deal. I want a seat on the board, and I want full control of your branding, marketing, logo, advertising. You give me carte blanche on that because, quite honestly, you have no idea what you're doing. And they were like, done. Sign on
So
the dotted
wait a
line.
minute. You're a shark now.
And now I flipped the table, right? So yeah, I jumped the shark. Jumped the shark. And yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It was one of the first times I took that position of I really need to be involved in this company. Unfortunately, I can't run it. I'm far too busy doing Scrub Daddy every single day. So I'm on a board meeting call once a week with them, and I've done a lot of stuff for them. And we're on the market. We're selling a couple sticks a day right now. It's growing. And I've had the unbelievable fortune, because I love ice hockey. I was actually standing in front of. Do you know who PK Subban is?
No.
All right, so your viewers will. He's one of the greatest hockey players in the NHL right now, and he's very, very famous.
I'm on the West Coast. We don't see as much hockey over here on the West. So,
oh, you guys had a great team.
Well, we have the Sharks, but you know, and I've been to a couple games. Yes.
Well, PK Subban's married to Lindsey Vonn. You know who that is?
Yes.
She's the famous ski. Okay, so he's just to give you an idea. Yeah, that's how
pretty
big
popular guy.
Oh yeah, he's a really popular guy. Anyway, I was presenting the stick to him the other day, and he was blown away. He was so blown away that he gave me his stick and said, "I want you to match all my specs and send me a stick." So this is like, for me, I can't tell you how much fun it is to marry my passion with inventions and business. It's literally, it's the greatest thing you can do in life.
So Aaron, tell me this. Now that, I mean, you're a pretty popular guy, and I want to thank you for coming on and sharing this with everybody.
I got my 15 minutes of fame. I've been dragging it out
more than that
for 7 years now.
Can you just pick up the phone and call people? Is it easier for you now that you're well known? You've got a great product. You're on TV. I mean, you're kind of like that. You're kind of a celebrity to all us entrepreneurs. I mean, you're kind of the deal. So is it easy to reach out to companies? Will they take your call?
Yes. It's a lot easier now because, I mean, of course, in business, just as in life, reputation precedes you, right? And so when you have a reputation of proven success and people know that you're not, BSing them, will people take your call? Of course. I mean, they are much more open. I mean, I have built-in relationships, right? So when I can call, the buyer of Walmart and be like, I've got 2 new products to show you. And they're like, they'll want to see the new products. Whereas, if someone just called up, Walmart was like, can I speak to the buyer for sponges? They'd be like, good luck. So absolutely. And I know all success builds on a foundation. And of course, you want to make your foundation, one of trust and one of a proven track record. And so it's become, and it does become easier actually at that point. I've also found that I also have the infrastructure now, right? I have so much infrastructure that I've built within my organization and around the world that when I have an idea, it's not like, where do I go with this? It's like, oh, this is an electronic. I know exactly who to go to start that project. And I built those relationships and that reputation. So when I call that guy, he knows I'm for real. He knows I'm not going to screw him around, and he knows that there's real potential business behind what I'm offering. And that's exactly the story of how these guys let me into the hockey stick company, and why I have such clout with them, and why they gave me a seat on the board, right off the bat. And it's nice to hear, we're a couple years into it now, them actually saying that was the right decision, and we love having you on board. And like, I live for that. Like,
so wait a minute, when are you going to be a shark on Shark Tank? That's what I want to know.
I got terrible news for you. I've been pushing that narrative for probably 4 years with Shark Tank, and I've been dreaming about that moment. And I feel like I was uniquely qualified because of the television experience I had with QVC. And they kept saying, "Oh, we're not ready yet. We're not ready yet." And then, of course, last season, to my horror, on episode 1. They did that. They brought the first entrepreneur in the history of the show on, and it was Jamie Siminoff from Ring. because he sold his business for $1 billion to Amazon.
Not bad.
And
not
that was
bad.
you know
Not bad.
that was a tough moment for me. I'm going to be honest. Like I had dreamt about that moment and thought about that moment and was like, I can't wait to tell Mark, hey Mark, settle down. The last time that you were actually like in the trenches and actually doing something was what, 50 years ago? Okay. I'm actually still doing it every day. And I had great lines that I was like all prepared to do. Anyway, they didn't do it. And that moment's passed. Do I think I'll ever be a shark on Shark Tank? I don't know. I think, I don't, it depends how long the show keeps going for.
It seems like it's going to go on forever. Everybody loves it. Okay, one last question.
Yeah.
What's new? What are you doing that you can
God.
share? What's a hot product? What do people need to buy now?
All right. I'm gonna move around a little bit here because I'm going to show it to you. Okay. But what we have new here is the most incredible thing I've probably ever invented, and I'm going to tell you this in full disclosure. Look, I have to run around my office. It's a mess. This is as big as Scrub Daddy. I'm not even kidding. It's as big as Scrub Daddy. What we've done is created the world's most durable eraser product. So if you're familiar with like the Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, it's a very, very popular product. It's got 10 to 15 facings in almost every single store. The problem is that you use it and it literally falls apart in the first use. And so it's a very, very delicate piece of melamine foam, which is very effective at removing marks and scuff marks, but it literally crumbles in your hand. And now I know why they call it magic eraser, because it magically disappears while you're using it. So I started a project a year ago to create something completely revolutionary that would actually replace that in every store chain in the world. And it's launching in about 30 days. Wow. And it's literally, you're actually the first person to see this. This is Eraser Daddy 10X with scrubbing gems. And if you look close, what you're going to see here is we've incorporated Scrub Daddy pieces into melamine foam in a hybrid. Let me pull these out for you. I should have had someone come and do my camera work for me, right? But let me give you an example.
Is good. Oh, look at that.
Look at this. So it's got Scrub Daddy on the back.
Nice.
And it's got a composite hybrid blend of melamine foam. And you can't see this on camera, but this thing is so durable. It actually scrubs and scrubs and scrubs and erases stuff exactly the same way the other one does, but it doesn't wear. It just lasts and lasts.
When can we buy that? When is that going to be for sale?
In about a month. We have already, I have major store chains, Bed Bath, Walmart, Lowe's, Kroger, H-E-B, Meijer. We have some major store chains that as soon as they saw it, were like, oh my God, like Target, and so you're going to see this on the shelves, I would say in about 30 days.
All right. Smart. You're a smart man.
I don't know if it's smart. It's we don't stop. The minute you stop, someone's coming to eat your lunch. So we just figure we got to be ahead of the curve all the time. There's always people coming out with stuff trying to compete with us now. We're not the only one out there. I've got 50 knockoffs a day that I have to deal with. A lot of times I'm able to beat them with a lawsuit if it's an actual infringement. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like they just come out with a material that's not ours but is similar. They make it in a shape that's not mine, so I can't sue them, and they don't use my trademark, so I can't stop them. And we face, competition, legitimate competition.
All right.
But they're not a brand, and we're a brand with 34 SKUs. You can look behind me. We got my whole thing is full of all of our new products, and we're a full built-out brand. So when I go in a store, I'm not like, hey, we got a smiley face sponge. You guys interested? I'm like, so we've got Scrub Daddy, Scrub Mommy, Scour Daddy, Eraser Daddy, 10X. Sponge Daddy, Big Daddy, Soap Daddy, Screen Daddy, Scrub Daisy. I mean, it just goes on, and they're like, okay. You got a brand.
Okay, and one last question. The name. I love the name, but not everybody loved it at the very beginning, right? And how did you trust your instincts to stay with that name?
I could tell that it felt right. it embodied the same features of the product. You know, the product was anthropomorphic. It had a personality, and it needed to have a name. It wasn't going to be like Magic Sponge. You know, that you got a smiley face that looks like an emoji. It needs to speak to you like it's part of your family. And it was just so natural. Like the minute I heard, you know, my COO was the person who actually named it. We were going through different names for this product. And literally he was like, you know, it looks like a radical skateboard guy with, you know, the spiky hair, like kind of like the Go Daddy symbol. We should call it Scrub Daddy. And I'm like, oh. And I mean, the minute that he said the name, it was over. Like I was like, thank God we're not a big corporation, and I just make the decisions. And that's it. It's over. Move forward. And I've never looked back. And honestly, it's turned into what we are, which is a fun, playful brand that's got cool, fun names like Daddy and Mommy, and people bring it into their homes, and it literally becomes part of their family. Right. You should look at our Instagram account. I mean, people are crazy about Scrub Daddy. It's like a cult following. They're literally going, yeah, exactly. It's like
Aaron,
it's like emoji in your house.
Thank you very much for coming on.
My pleasure.
I mean,
always.
You know, it's amazing. You're such a nice guy, and you've always been so kind to everybody, and you're just an amazing individual. And I cannot thank you enough.
No, it's my pleasure, and I hope that we can inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs. I love seeing people come up with great innovations.
Well, you set the bar pretty high.
I'm not done yet.
All right, everybody. Aaron Krause got a great product, Scrub Daddy. Watch him, buy it. It works. The guy is everywhere coming up with new ideas. Never stop inventing. Hey, is that correct? Never stop?
Never stop inventing. Get ready to see our next family member take over the world right here, guys. Right here.
Aaron, thank you very much.
My pleasure, man. Thank you.